Welcome back to Mima's Place, everyone. I'm so glad you stopped in tonight. I am filming this in the evening, and I hope that you'll stay a while to see what gifts I've made. Now, these gifts are going to be for neighbors, friends, family, or whomever you choose to give them to. As you can see, I've made here a gift out of pot holders. There are two pot holders that I used, and then I filled them with all kinds of goodies here. Now, one thing I do want to show you is that it was one pot holder was completely blank and the other one would have joy on it, so I cut it in half and I sewed them together. But let me go ahead and take some of this out of here so I can tell you what I've done. Now, this is a cake in a mug. I made this on my word processing and then I printed it out on photo paper. And then the mug treat is actually inside of it as well. And then my logo is down there at the bottom that people can scan to go directly to my sites if they choose to. Now, one thing I want to point out here is I used I'm not sure what you call this little instrument that I use it a lot with my fabrics for my patterns, but I just rotated it along the top edge there to create a perforated edge so that you could easily tear off, or rather open the package up when you needed to, whenever they choose to do it. So that's how I did that one. And then it comes with the frosting and the also miniature composition books that I had in my craft show. Those that I didn't sell, I decided to put them here, give them away here. And this is one of the cocoa packs that didn't sell. They all sold except two, and this is one of them. And so I decided, well, I'm going to enclose that in there too. So I went ahead and I put that in the back. And then in front of that, I put the cake in the mug in there, and then the composition book along with the frosting. And then we can't forget the candy cane that goes in there. So this is one of them that I created. Now the next one is actually also from the Dollar Tree. The actual, what do you call them, stockings. So I cut it in half and sewed it together. And I'm going to take everything out here so I can show you what I enclosed. Now these are the Hershey bars that I created. And that face that you see, I drew that. And then also used wrapping paper this time, but I didn't care for the wrapping paper. Now I only made one, but I just didn't care for it. And then this is another composition book that I created, and also inside of it, this time I decided to use the glitter paper, and then naturally the cake in the mug, and then another chocolate one. This is the second one. These are the two that didn't sell in the craft show. Now, also I wanted to show you in this as well, the inside where I sewed the stocking. It wasn't hard, it was actually fairly easy. So now I'm just going ahead and putting everything back in there again. It's pretty snug, so, and that's good because I don't want things to move around too much in there. And then I'm putting lastly the miniature composition book in there as well. I was trying to fit it all snug in there to make sure that it wouldn't be moving around too much. And then as you can see, I put that poinsettia in the front there as well. So that's the second one that I've made to give to one of my neighbors. These are all going to my neighbors. I love to give things to them everywhere. Now, there was a time too that I ran into things were just kind of a little bit financially hard at one point a couple of years back. And so I started to create a different type of a basket because I wanted to keep it on the inexpensive. So I used these paper plates. Now I don't care for these paper plates when it comes to eating out, but I just wanted to tell you what I did here and how I created it, the little basket. So I folded it down on both sides and then also on the top. But when you do that, it makes a square like this, a little basket. So you cut the sides and then you glue the sides in so that it keeps it together. As you can see, that I glued both sides, and just wanted to give you a better idea of what I did there. I inserted this short clip to let you know how I made them, so that you could make them for yourself as well. And then, because the next one's going to be the gingerbread one, I used this fence and I cut up. I'll show you in the next part that I cut up these Folger cartons that I had left over, and then I made them into a fence to go all around this little basket. So as you'll see in this next part, that I actually put together a little gingerbread basket using those paper plates. Isn't it cute? I thought it turned out really well. And it's holding everything in there. But I'm going to take it all out because I can't show you uh, with it rather properly without taking everything out of there. So as you can see, the inside, I didn't color, or I colored only the top portions of it on the inside. But then I made that little wreath on the outside in the bow. And there's the Folgers that I use. They're little packages. They come 8 in a pack. And then that one side is what I use for the fence. And then the inside, I went ahead and I put white paper on the inside of them, just like that. And then I cut them up and made a little fence. And then I put stickles on the top. Well, I actually used the pen first. I used the blender pen, that's what this one is. But I also used the acrylic white painter pen as well, because I needed a little bit more white in there. And then I blended it with the other one. And then I used the stickles after this to just add a little bit more snowy type of look on it. I think it turned out really good. And then this is the Peachy King. That's the Peachy King's stamp for the face. It's also a die by Peachy King as well, so I used her die. These are the Sizzix poinsettia dies that I made that you've seen in the past on some of my cards. And this one is also Peachy King, the same die. She has also clothing with it. And I'll actually list those at the bottom if you choose to want to go over to her website and purchase them. Now here's where I'm packing the packages back in. Now this napkin that I enclosed actually has a recipe on it. It's for hot buttered rum, I think it is. And then everyone has socks that I'm putting inside. Now you'll notice with these socks that little casing, I've had those for a while. They're like little cupcake tights. They're very, very sturdy. So I decided to use them for the socks. And that's this not paper towel, but kitchen towel I got from the Dollar Tree. And then these are some of other things that I've had in my stash for a while. The gingerbread cookie cutter. And this is actually a gingerbread ornament. I thought it went well with this. That was pretty cute to enclose that. Look at At first I thought it was a cookie cutter, and then I realized it wasn't. And then this is I can close the Kiss Merry Christmas Hershey Kisses in a whisk. Those didn't go over so well on my craft show, but I could always use them as gifts, so that's what I did. Now this is the second one I did, and this time I didn't cut them in half. For the fence, I left them whole, and then I just made the corner to make it look like a fence. And then I put poinsettias on one side, and then on the other, I made a ribbon to go on both sides. So I'm unpacking it so I can show you what I did inside. This one I actually had a stamp inside. It was another piece of cardboard that I put inside of it to make it a little bit sturdier. Now they're pretty sturdy. I realized after that they were pretty sturdy, so I didn't actually use one in the gingerbread, but I did put one in this one. And then I colored it with some glittery pins that I purchased off of May Made It. They're very inexpensive, and so I colored the stamp in with that. Turned out pretty nice. I thought it did really well. And then also, I have the snowflake cookie cutter there. Each one of these had I enclosed a sugar cookie uh, bag mix in there, and then each one has a towel, and then also the socks. And then we have the the cookie cutters in the shape of a snowflake. And then I have the ornament that I'll be putting in just a bit here. This is a penguin ornament. I thought it was so cute. It just looks so cute having picking out at the end. And then also the Merry Christmas um, whisk that I put in there as well. So I made these two, and actually I actually like them better than the other ones. And these are for like for on a budget, but I decided to dress them up by putting that little fence about them, and I think that that really added to it when I did that. So that's concludes all the projects that I made as gifts. And if you'd be so kind as to uh, subscribe and like. You'll find it at the bottom there. I'd appreciate that because without you, I can't grow my channel. I appreciate you so much. Just want to let you know that Jesus loves you. I love you too. And I have a Christmas one coming up for uh, candy canes. So I hope you'll come back soon. Y'all have a great evening, okay? All right. I'll talk to you later.